Sweden has an export-oriented economy with timber, iron ore, and hydropower as its chief components of supply. Of all the EU members, the Swedish economy stands at the lowest national debt levels. It identifies itself as a competitive mixed economy with 90% companies belonging to private ownership, 5% under government control, and 5% of cooperatives. Sweden has progressed from an agrarian economy in the 19th century to an industrial one in the 21st century. After the mid-19th century, Sweden became an economic powerhouse due to rapid industrialization. In the early 20th century, Life magazine declared the country to have the highest standard of living in the world. Its non-involvement in the two wars helped it avoid physical, political, and economic destruction. It moved further towards its economic prosperity. From the 1970s began a period of recession in the country that lasted as long as the late 1990s. Its standard of living fell by great margins. By the early 21st century, however, the nation picked itself up and became the 10th highest GDP per capita country in 2009. The principal industries that drive the Swedish economy are telecommunications, industrial machinery, pharmaceuticals, motor vehicles, and chemical goods. Strongholds of Swedish economy. 50% of the export outputs for the Swedish economy come from the engineering sector, while agriculture contributes 2% to its GDP. Sweden was ranked as the fourth most competitive country according to the Competitiveness Index calculated by the World Economic Forum 2012 to 2013. A US professor's book, The Flight of the Creative Class, termed the country to be the best in business creativity in entire Europe. It predicted that the nation will attract the world's most productive and talented manpower. OECD's Economy Survey in 2007 assessed Sweden's inflation after the 1990s to be the lowest among the nations in Europe. World Bank declared it as the 10th easiest nation to trade with, emphasizing on the country's aptitude for foreign trade and exports. Period of recession. Sweden's economy faced a crisis period from the 1970s to 1990s. This resulted from a reformation of its tax rules and a global economic stoppage due to the oil crisis. This caused the country's financial system to break down. GDP decreased by 5%, employment rates plummeted by 10%, and the central bank reached to a 500% interest to back up its currency. The economy lost its competitiveness and saw itself in a major cost crisis for almost 2 decades. The inflation rate skyrocketed along with an improper wage system. Period of 2000 to present. After a nightmarish period of economic catastrophe, the Swedish government introduced several measures to get the economy back on its feet. Old age pensions, subsidies, devaluations, deregulation of the market were some of these measures. By 1999, there was considerable fiscal stability. Gross public debt reduced by huge margins and was brought under control at the beginning of the 21st century. In the past 2 decades, the Swedish economy has transformed its industrial base from manufacturing goods to foreign ownership. The IT industry pervades the country's economic setup. Trade, imports and exports account for a massive 84% of its GDP.
Como conclusiones se tiene que, con los datos del nivel de desempleo, podemos ver que el PBI real de Suecia se encuentra por debajo del PBI potencial, lo que implica obtener una brecha recesiva. Esto plantea una mejora en políticas fiscales y monetarias de acuerdo con los altos impuestos y una deuda pública en el mínimo. Además, como el porcentaje de encaje es bajo, es más admisible obtener un crédito por parte de un banco sueco. Y, como la cantidad de jóvenes es menor en comparación a la cantidad de jubilados, se recomienda invertir en el sector infantil y juvenil, así como también en el sector de personas mayores, como en el ámbito de la salud. Y con la situación macroeconómica presentada en el trabajo y con todos los datos, decidimos que sí conviene invertir en Suecia, ya que posee una economía estable que, de acuerdo con los datos mostrados, está en continuo crecimiento, por lo que a futuro se espera una mejora en la calidad de vida y unos buenos resultados para el negocio en el que se decide invertir. El video mostrado anteriormente fue obtenido del canal de YouTube Education Channel, el video titulado Trabajo y vida en Suecia, el cual fue publicado el 13 de abril del 2018. Muchas gracias.